Oftentimes, when people hear the word lust, they usually think about sex or attraction, maybe curiosity, whatever. But the more I think about it, the more I realize lust is so much bigger than that. Lust is this hunger inside you, not just necessarily for bodies, but for attention, for validation and escape. It's that part of you that doesn't want to sit alone with your thoughts. So you go looking for something or someone to distract you from the thoughts and yourself. And for a very long time, nobody really talks about it honestly. You either joke about it or you shame it. There's really no in between. But nobody talks about the quiet part, the emptiness it can leave behind. Because yeah, lust feels really good in the moment. It always does. It feels exciting, maybe dangerous or comforting, like someone finally sees you, like you are wanted. But when that moment fades away, when the sun goes down, the door closes, when your phone shuts off, sometimes you're left feeling so much more alone than before. And that part sticks. Lust is so much more and so much deeper than being horny. That's why I think it's considered a seven deadly sin. It's about chasing validation, trying to fill an empty space, using people so you don't have to sit alone with yourself. It connects to heartbreak, loneliness, temptation, mistakes, regret, numbness. All that heavy stuff that you're letting build up inside of you. I've seen how lust creeps in slowly. Not like some big monster, more like a whisper. It'll tell you, you need this. You are feeling alone. Nobody else has to know. And maybe you're not necessarily chasing the person, you're chasing the feeling, the validation, the attention, the escape from your own mind. Some of my friends went down that road heavy. Hookups, parties, late night decisions and booty calls. And when they talk about it, they'd all laugh. But behind the laugh, you could hear it. You could see the emptiness on their face, the feeling like you're only valuable when somebody wants your body or when you want theirs. And even if you're not out there doing crazy stuff, lust will still show up. It could be in scrolling, fantasizing, comparing, imagining, letting your mind wander places your heart never agrees to go. It's everywhere. Music, movies, social media, it convinces you intimacy is cheap. It's disposable and casual. But the truth is, your heart is far from casual. Your soul isn't casual either. And the more you pretend it is, the more pieces you start to leave behind. In a sense of relationships, lust will ruin your relationship. Lust will tell you the lie that there's always something better. A better body, a better option, a better thrill. So instead of learning how to be patient and loyal and committed, you start chasing the dopamine instead of the love. You start seeing people as sort of objects. You start seeing them as distractions, and that is so dangerous. Because, plain and simple, real love isn't rainbows and sunshine 24/7. Real love is very, very slow, very honest, vulnerable, and sometimes even boring. And lust hates boring. Lust doesn't want connection. It wants stimulation. And when lust leads you to stop caring about the consequences until it's too late. And that's where the shame and guilt comes in. But what makes it worse is nobody wants to admit it. People will joke about being horny nonstop, but nobody talks about the guilt. Nobody talks about the confusion, the addiction. So we sort of bury it in these one-liners and pretend everything is fine, laugh it off. But deep down, some of us feel disgusted or conflicted or lost. And let's be real, a lot of young guys especially are drowning in this stuff. Porn, fantasies, temptation. But nobody has ever taught them what it does to you over time. How it rewires your brain. How it makes the real connections that much more difficult. How it turns people into objects instead of souls and real human beings. And I'm not here saying desire is necessarily evil. Desire is a human nature. Attraction is also a human nature. It's normal. But when the desire controls you and becomes your escape, that's when lust stops just being curiosity and starts becoming a cage. So, as a human being who has these experiences, I have learned a couple things. And what I've learned is that lust becomes weaker when you stop running from yourself. When you actually take the time to sit with your loneliness and face your insecurity. When you admit that sometimes what you really want isn't sex. It's the closeness. It's being seen. It's being loved without conditions. And that means choosing differently. Choosing to be honest. Choosing to be respectful. Choosing to be disciplined. And this is a big one. Choosing to validate or value even somebody's heart more than their body. And yes, you will slip up, you will fail, we all do. Failing is a part of recovery. But awareness is always the first step. Not shame, not self-hatred, awareness. Because lust does not lose power when you hide it. It loses power when you finally tell the truth and talk about it with other people. I think one of the big things that makes lust so present today is how crazy normalized porn has become. Like, it's not even seen as a big deal anymore. It's treated like a joke, a meme, something you just do. People talk about it like brushing their teeth. And when something becomes so normal, you sort of just stop questioning what it actually is doing to you. But the truth is, porn doesn't just stay on a screen. It follows you into your relationships, into your expectations into the way that you see people. It turns intimacy into performance. It sort of turns connections into comparison, and it teaches you to chase intensity instead of depth. And the worst part about it is oftentimes you don't even realize it's happening. You start needing it more, different ways, faster, stronger. It's like your brain keeps turning up the volume, and suddenly real life doesn't feel enough anymore. Real people don't feel enough anymore. Real love doesn't feel enough. And nobody warns you about the emptiness afterwards. That weird, hollow feeling where you're just sitting there like, why do I feel worse now? You close the app, you turn off the screen, but the heaviness stays because somewhere deep down, you know you traded connection for a quick hit of dopamine. And over time, that changes you. Not permanently, but enough that you have to work to get yourself back. And another big part, I think sometimes as guys, we forget that lust does also affect women too, just in different ways. A lot of women grow up feeling like their value is tied to how desired they are, to how they look, to how much attention they get. Society pressures them to be quote unquote sexy, but then shames them when they are. It's a trap either way. So while guys might struggle with temptation and fantasy, girls are often battling comparison, never feeling pretty enough, never feeling wanted enough, always measuring themselves against screens and filters and unrealistic bodies that oftentimes aren't even real. And when lust drives culture, women stop feeling like people and start feeling like products, something to be consumed, rated, replaced, and that hurts. It damages confidence, it damages trust, it makes relationships feel unsafe. And I think part of growing, part of becoming better as a man is learning to see women as human beings first, with their own struggles, their own insecurities, their own stories, because they're not props, they're not escape routes, they're not rewards, they are people. And when you start respecting that, you start respecting yourself more too. So if you're listening to this right now and it feels like I called you out, I just wanted to say I'm not judging you. I'm talking with you. I'm having that hard conversation. I'm still learning too. I'm still growing and figuring it out myself. Lust is a normal human nature, but so is discipline and so is love. Also, growth. And I believe that you are capable of being better, not because you are weak, but because you deserve the peace and you deserve to not feel empty all the time. And the scary part about lust is you could have no idea who's struggling with it. The quiet kid, the athlete, the straight A student, the girl who's always smiling, the guy who jokes about everything. You would have no idea. Because most people don't talk about it. They just fight it alone, late at night, in their own head. So before you judge anyone, I need you to remember a lot of people are battling things that you will never see. Please be gentle with them, but also be gentle with yourself too. I think that's all I have to say for today. Thank you. Seriously, these are not easy conversations. They are very uncomfortable, and most people would rather pretend none of this exists. But the fact that you are here, thinking about it, reflecting, trying to understand yourself better, that already means something. I'm not saying I have this all figured out. I don't. I'm still learning, I'm still unlearning, still trying to become better and a healthier version of myself. If you're on that journey too, I believe in you. Stay rolly.